Nina. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm Jessie. I like to talk about books. If you're not new here, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in so long because I'm busy. Anyway, okay, today's video is going to be very fun and very exciting. We've got a bunch of different things planned. It's going to be just one really big book vlog, basically. We're gonna go book shopping, we're gonna do a little book room tour, we're gonna read some books, we're gonna talk about some books I've been reading lately. I haven't been talking about it much on social media. I took a TikTok break, still going to be taking a TikTok break. I think I'll mostly just be posting on YouTube for now because I despise TikTok. We have a love-hate relationship, okay? It is so not good for me, and all of the people that are on there drive me absolutely nuts, but we'll get into that more a little bit later. But in this video, I'm very excited because there's some books I had to go get from the store, which I'll be talking about those. They're a continuation of a series that I have been reading, probably my new all-time favorite series. So I'm excited to go get those because I cannot wait for them to be delivered to my home. And then, yeah, we're going to be reading 2 books that I'm currently reading, continue reading 2 books I'm currently reading, and then talking about some books I read recently and kind of what's going on. And then I might do like a updated room tour because I've done a little bit decorating and adding to my room. If you haven't seen, or if you don't know, I love fish. And I recently have added some fish to my new fish tank. So yeah, we're going to be talking about all that today and kind of just hanging out and doing that together. So first things first, we're going to go to town. We're going to go to the bookstore first. And then, like I said, I have to go get some fish. I'll talk about that more later as well. I got to go get some fish. And then I'm going to go to the grocery store, which I'm not going to bring you along with me because that's horribly boring. I think that's pretty much it for the beginning of this video. So buckle up because it's really probably not going to be that eventful. So let's go do it right now together. Let's go do it. Let's go.
Sweet that I hear, but this old flat line. We're back from shopping, okay? I got 4 books. That's it, because it's the 3 that I needed, and then I found a 4th one that I also got, okay? So, went to the cute little bookstore, overpriced. Mind you, okay, I always have to talk about this. I spent $70 on just the 3 books that I needed today. $70 on 3 books. This is from the local bookstore that I have in my town. It's very tiny. Mind you, very busy though, okay? Like, this bookstore is like it's not going anywhere. It's the only bookstore we have within like 2 hours of where I live. Okay, anyway, so I spent $70 on 3 books. Mind you, I can get them for $40 on Amazon, but it's part of the experience, okay? So I did it and I lived in, and it's too late now. I can't go back. Those 3 books are the next 3 books in the Robin Hobb like universe. So I read the Farseer trilogy recently, and I will get into that in 1 second. So I just got the next 3 books in the next trilogy that's connected to that one. That's Ship of Magic, Ship of Destiny, and Mad Ship. And I'm not entirely sure of the order they go in, but I got those 3. And then I found a 4th one called The Creeping by Alexandra Sirowy. And this sounded really good. I've never heard of this author or this book, but it says 12 years ago, Stella and Jeannie vanished while picking strawberries. Stella returned minutes later with no memory of what happened. Jeannie was never seen or heard from again. Now Stella is 17 and she's over it. She's the lucky one who survived, and sure, this case is still cloaked in mystery and it's her small town's ugly legacy, but Stella is focused on the coming summer. She's got a great best friend, a hookup with an irresistibly crooked smile, and 2 months of beach days stretching out before her. Then along comes a corpse, a little girl who washes up in an ancient cemetery after a mudslide and who has red hair just like Jeannie did. Suddenly, memories of that haunting day begin to return, and when Stella discovers that the other red-headed girls have gone missing as well, she begins to suspect that something sinister is at work. Before the summer ends, Stella will learn the hard way that if you hunt for monsters, you will find them. So yeah, and obviously it's fall time now, so I'm like loving and I'm back in the mood for like thrillers and stuff. I'm currently reading one at the moment. But yeah, so that sounded really interesting and I'm really excited to read that one. I'll probably read that after I read this current thriller that I'm reading. Now, getting into the books that I have been reading, like I just said, books I'm currently reading or have read currently. Like I said, the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb. That's Assassin's Apprentice, Royal Assassin, and Assassin's Quest. Now, I love this series. If you want to read what is like considered a true fantasy series, and I'm talking about like plot, world building, characters, like this is how fantasy started out in the writing world. Like I'm talking about like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, like the OGs that we're talking about here. This is that. Mind you, these books were written in like the early 90s, so we're going back like not quite a ways, but a ways before book talk writing was ever a thing. So there's no tropes, hardly any romance, but the romance that is in there is incredible because it's more than just like romance. It just shows like the human experience of like love and feelings and commitment and loyalty, and oh my gosh, it is just so good. So this takes place in basically a kingdom. It's a kingdom of Buckkeep. This little bastard boy who's like 6 to 7 years old, I believe, maybe even younger, gets brought to the king because one of the princes got this random girl pregnant. And so the dad of the girl brings the little bastard, his name is Fitz, and he's the main character, brings him to Buckkeep Palace and drops him off and is like, your prince got my daughter pregnant and I can't afford to feed this little bastard, so you have to take him back. So then they take him, they raise the kid to be an assassin for the king. That's Fitz. And it's just so good. So the first book is like watching him grow up from like however old he was, 4 to 7. I really can't remember. I read this one forever ago. It starts there and then like into like early adulthood. Like that's what the 3 books cover. Now, the first book, basically you just following along his life and his training to become an assassin and the 2 magic skills. You get to learn how he has these 2 different magic skills. One called the skill and one is called the wit. The skill is a good magic skill that they use in the kingdom because basically everybody who has the talent of the skill will be trained in it, and what can happen is you can actually like link up with each other. It's basically like mind reading and sharing powers. You can link up with each other, but they use it mostly for like the princes. So the prince is like the main person they skill to, and they will share power and they'll like share messages with him. And so Fitch is being taught how to do that. He's not very good at it, and he kind of gets not ambushed, but like jeopardized, I guess, because the person who's teaching him doesn't like him. So that kind of gets ruined. And then you also find out he has this natural power called the wit. And the wit is basically like he can connect to animals and or basically just living things. And it's kind of banned in this universe because what happens specifically, at least how they describe it in the first book, is that they connect to beasts. So we're talking like dogs, bears, horses, like whatever. And when they connect to this beast, they can also talk to each other in their brains. They can see through each other's eyes. They feel each other's feelings. They communicate that way. They're basically become one entity together. And it's so banned because they call it beast magic because it turns men into beasts because they become so enthralled with the life of the animal that they're bonded to that they almost lose themselves and stop being human, basically. And Fitz is also, he was born with this magic and he keeps bonding to dogs specifically, and that's just kind of a whole, that storyline follows along the whole thing. He keeps bonding to these dogs, and if you read it, you know about it, but it's so good. It is like the most interesting concept for a world and for magic that I think I've ever read. Like, obviously you read fantasy books, yes, they're bonding to the animals around them, sure, they can communicate with them, but this is like, I think it dwells more into like the actual human connection of what it's like to bond with animals instead of just like, yeah, obviously I like my pet dog. No, like this is like what it, at least for me anyway, maybe that's just me, it feels like what I feel like when I'm connected to my animals. Like it is like a bond and you feel it, and these characters are so well written and it's so beautiful. And then the second book is him a little bit older, so then he bonds with his other uncle, Prince Verity, who's the next king in waiting in the second book. And then that's basically, this second book is basically just like, once again, them like helping each other. There's also like, there's so much happening, like it's so hard to explain. Okay, basically the enemy is called the Red Ship Raiders. They come onto these kingdoms and they come into these little ports and bays and whatever, and these little villages, and they raid these villages and they turn these people into, I'm completely blanking on what they're called, but they're basically like, they take these people and they turn them into like what's basically like zombies. And I'll put the word up. Literally cannot remember the word for what they're called right now. I'm so tired. Anyway, so they're also trying to like defeat the red ship so that they'll stop killing their villagers and turning them into these evil, horrible things. And that's what the second book is basically about. I have to say, like, the second book took me almost like 4 months to finish. It's only like 700 pages. That normally does not take me that long. But this one was very slow. It was very in depth. It's very much more world building and just introducing you to the different villages and kingdoms and whatever in this universe and the enemies and just kind of how everything works more in this book. And then during this second book, somebody disappears, and that sets up the third book because this somebody then has to be found, and then they go on a quest, which is oops, sorry. This is the second one, Royal Assassin. I was holding up the third one. Sorry, my bad. This is the third one, Assassin's Quest, and they go on that quest to find that person that is missing. And it's so good. And I literally can't say more without spoiling it, but it's so good. Now, I have to say, it did take me a while to get into it because the first 2 books, like I said, are just very much world building, introducing you to the characters, how they think, how they behave, what they feel, who they are, what they do. And so I gonna be honest, like, it wasn't until like halfway through the second book that I even was like into this at all. I literally, like, by the time I got halfway through the second book, I was like, okay, now I see what we're talking about. Now I get it. This is so good. And so I instantly went out and I bought the next trilogy that is connected. It's not with the same main characters. We resolved, I believe, mostly everything within this first trilogy, and then we go to the second one, and it's new characters, new setting, new thing, but it's all within the same universe, so I'm super excited to continue that. Next series that I've been reading, and I actually DNF'd the third book, is it's called the Legacy series. This is the first book, Reign of Shadows and Endings. Second book is Storm of Secrets and Sorrow. Third book is Tempest of Wrath and Vengeance by Melissa K. Rorich. Now, so if you read Zodiac Academy, you will know what I mean when I say this, that Zodiac Academy, much like this series, was like a train wreck that I couldn't look away from. It's so bad that it's good. And I read the first 2 books, and I thought that the whole time, that I was like, I hate the main characters. The main female character is so whiny and so needy and so awful, and she literally cannot help herself and is so pointless, and I hated her. But the drama was good, and it, I still saw the potential by that point. So I was like, okay, by the first book, I get it. Maybe this is like, you have to, get into the writing flow. The second book, I was like, no, this is still bad, but whatever, I'm entertained. And then by the third book, I kid you not, I got 200 pages in. I was like, no, actually, this is just bad, and this is just bad writing, and I can't stand these characters, and I hate everything about it. And it completely lowered my rating for the other 2 books, and I don't think anybody should read this series unless you just like horrible, trashy romance, modern day fantasy, dragon pornos. I don't know. So if you like that, you like that. But yeah, I will not be continuing the series. I think there's a 4th book coming out, but I DNF'd at the 3rd, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not reading this. This is so awful. But it's free on Kindle Unlimited, so if you want something that's free, go ahead and read it, I guess. Next, another thing I read recently is Burn Bright by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time today. Now, if you know Krista and Becca Ritchie, they wrote the Addicted series / Calloway Sisters series. That's like a 10-book series. It's technically 2 different things. The Addicted series follows along with Lily and Lauren, who are one couple, and then the Calloway Sisters series follow along with Lily's sisters and their main love interests. I love that series of all time. Like that, it's like good reality TV show, and like those characters are like so near and dear to my heart. They're like 100% real to me. I love them so much. So then this series, the Burn Bright, this is the first book of those main characters' children from Addicted and Calloway Sister series. These are the children, specifically Cobalt family. You know who the Cobalt family is. Rose and Connor Cobalt, my parents, the love of my lives. These are their children, and I was so excited to read this. Honestly, this is a hefty book, and I'm going to be honest, it didn't really need to be this long, but basically it follows along with one of the main kids of the Cobalt family, Ben, and so it's like decades into the future, and it's just about him and his love interest. They're in college, he's trying to find his way through life, she's trying to become a doctor. He moves back to New York to be with his older siblings because he did basically something bad, and then he's kind of affected by it. And so his older brothers are like, well, come live with us in New York in this giant penthouse we have, because they're rich, mind you. And he does, but he doesn't want to, because he thinks everything he touches basically gets destroyed. So he's low-key trying to run away from everyone and hide from them so that he can stop hurting people. He's not doing anything wrong. And it's just about him meeting the main character, Harriet, and them kind of falling in love in New York, and her trying to get him to stay and stuff like that. I don't know. I got bored, and then I liked it, and then I got bored, and then I liked it, and then I got bored. But whatever. I still cherish it just because it is the family of my favorite series of all time. So, sure. Another book I read is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Now, I've read a lot of her books, and I have to say this is probably going to be the last one that I'm going to read for a long time, because she's like the epitome of like cringy millennial Taylor Swift Tumblr, I'm not like other cool girls books, and I don't know why I keep picking them up, because like every time there's something in here that makes me cringe. But this one's Yours Truly. It's about two doctors, Brianna and Jacob. They work at an emergency room as doctors. Brianna's brother is in kidney failure, and so he's on dialysis. And how Jacob and Brianna meet the first time is he's new to the hospital, and he's walking down a hallway. Brianna runs into him because she's running to her brother, who just got admitted again because he's having a hard time, and he drops his phone, it breaks. He follows her into her brother's room, who's currently dying, mind you, to tell her, hey, don't run in the hallways. He also has like major social anxiety, so he like really is bad at communicating. So he follows her into the room. A doctor follows a fellow doctor into a room with a patient and says, don't run. What he meant to say was, hey, you ran into me and broke my phone, but of course he didn't. And also, I don't like that, like listening to grown men not even be able to like talk. Like, I know it happens, but I didn't like him for that reason. Anyway, so then she's like, F off, dude. Like, who are you? like, what? It's so unprofessional. So then, because he feels bad and he said it all wrong, he writes her a letter, because he loves journaling and he's really good at writing letters. He writes her a letter explaining what he really meant to say and that he didn't intend it that way. And it's because, you broke my phone and I'm sorry that it came out wrong. They start writing letters back and forth. She forgives him. They start writing letters back and forth. And also, mind you, at this time, Jacob's ex-girlfriend broke up with him to date his brother. And they're getting married. And so Jacob tells his family that he's over her. And by proving that, he tells them he has a girlfriend. He doesn't. So then Brianna and him... So then, I literally, like... Spoilers. I'm sorry. This is probably going to spoil it. Jacob says that he will help Brianna's brother by donating his kidney anonymously, so Brianna doesn't know this. But then she finds out about it because somebody accidentally blabs. And then, because he said he was dating somebody, he needs a fake girlfriend to show up to the wedding with him. So then, of course, he brings Brianna, and then obviously just a bunch of, like, stuff ensues and they fall in love and whatever. And it was pretty boring, and I don't know. It was whatever. Okay, another book I read, The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. I actually tried to listen to this on Audible, or I did finish it. Yeah, and it was so boring. I'm sorry. It was so boring. I don't recommend this. Somebody at Barnes & Noble told me that this was so good and that I should read it, and I tried, and I, like, literally couldn't pay attention at all. It was so not for me, and I'm so sorry. So, there's that. And then... let's see. Oh my gosh. Book of the year for me. My brother-in-law made me read this book. Book of the year. When I say this is my top rating book I've read all year. And I want you to take this very seriously, and I want everybody to go, and I want you to read it right now. Project Hail Mary. Oh, need I say more? My brother-in-law made me listen to this on audiobook because he said he did and that it was super good and that I would like it. Mind you, I don't really like sci-fi books. I don't gravitate towards them. They're not really what I want to read. They're not really what I want to watch. Have no interest in it, but he told me, like, just trust me, it's so good. The way it's narrated on audiobook is so good. And so I did. It took me a while to get into, just because I didn't know what I was expecting, but the second it was like, I was in it, let me tell you. Okay, I was so freaking in it. I don't even want... Okay, I'll tell you what it's about, but I also don't want to tell you much what happens, because I think you need to go into it completely blind. But basically, there is something that is killing the sun on Earth, and if they don't go figure out what it is, Earth will cease to exist as it is. People will die, crops will fail, whatever. So they send a high school science teacher to space to figure out what it is that's killing Earth and why. And that's all I'm going to say. And it's so good. It is some of the best writing I've ever had. And if you I agree, you need to listen to it on audiobook. The way they do it is just, it's so masterful. It's so good. I loved it, and they're making a movie about it, and I can't wait to watch the movie. I recommend this book 10 times, 10 days, 10, I don't, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I think everybody should read it. This is my top read, I think, probably of the year, so go read it. And then, getting to the end here, finally, it's about friggin' time. I've been reading Mariana Sabata books because people say they're super good. So the first one I read was Luna and the Lie, obviously, because everybody talks about Luna and the Lie. And then I read Underlock. I did really like these. These are a little bit, they're not like a dark romance, but it is like basically a romance just with a little bit higher stakes because like the main characters are like in biker gangs. So like it's really like not that dark. They're not these super evil people that like kill people or have deal drugs or whatever. They just have had sketchy pasts and like have been involved with things that aren't great. And so that's basically all these are about. But this is about Luna, and she works at this auto repair shop. I know cars. And one of the new bosses that are there is the main love interest. He gets hired, and it's just fun drama. He's grumpy. She's very nice. What can I say? It's a classic. And then there's Underlock. Now, this I actually think I liked a little bit more than Luna and the Lie. She, the main character, Iris, moves back to Austin, Texas, and she's trying to find a job because like her half brother, he's a stepbrother, lives there, and after like her whole family dynamic thing happened, she moves back to Austin to be with her brother, to live with him because she has no money. Then she gets hired at a tattoo shop while she's there, and then she meets, obviously, Locke. His name is Dex, they call him Locke. And he's, once again, grumpy biker gang, miserable jerk that she falls in love with. I mean, what could be any better than that? And then that brings me to books I'm reading currently. I am reading the third Mariana Sabata book. I have All Roads Lead Here. I do think, honestly, I'm liking this one more than the other two. This one's just a small town romance so far. Aurora moves back to Colorado temporarily because that is where her mom actually disappeared from. She just recently got cheated on by her husband, who, mind you, is a famous singer. And so she goes back to Colorado after they get a divorce to just kind of be closer to where her mom lived and do a bunch of things that her mom really loved to do. There's a bunch of things that I could talk about. I don't want to like spoil it for you or for myself, but now she's basically in this town just doing a bunch of stuff that she knows her mom would like. Her and, once again, grumpy male main character, his name is Tobias Rhodes, they're slowly getting closer, and a bunch of things are happening, and they're doing stuff together, and they're falling in love, and I'm sure I'm gonna love it, and they're gonna love each other. Also know, like, following Mariana Sabata books, I'm sure there's gonna be a twist of some sort. Her ex-husband is currently like bugging her and keeps trying to get a hold of her, and he's like, please call me, please answer, please whatever. So my theory, mind you, I'm only halfway through the book, my theory is that her mom is still alive or was found, because they never really found her body. They just said she went missing on a hike. I don't know, I could be wrong. Sorry if that's a spoiler. If it's a spoiler, it was an accidental one. I really didn't know what was happening. But that's where I'm at. That's what I think is going to happen. And let's see if I'm proven right or wrong. The other one I'm currently reading, I just started this last night as well. I think I'm on like chapter 11, and I don't have a bookmark in here, so I don't remember. The Night Before by Wendy Walker. There was like, it's about Rosie and Laura. Rosie is the older sister to Laura. And in the olden days as in when they were teenagers, Laura was in an accident, found at a party out in the woods with her sister Rosie, but they found Laura with her dead boyfriend holding whatever it was that killed said boyfriend. They just say the weapon, I don't know what it was, that killed her boyfriend. And then that's just backstory. So supposedly everybody's like, it's a small town they live in, and everybody knows that Laura was there when her boyfriend died and was like almost arrested, whatever. Mind you, I'm not really that far into the book, so I don't completely know what's happening yet. But present day, so it talks about a little bit of the past and then present day. Laura is going on a date, online dating. She's back living with Rosie back in town after she left for a decade. She moved back to her hometown to live with her sister and her husband. And then she's going on a date. That's where we kind of start with the book. And she then goes missing on said date, and Rosie's like losing her mind trying to find her because she's like, I don't know who I should be more worried for, my sister or for the guy that she went on a date with, because I don't trust my sister. That's pretty much it. So these are the two I'm currently reading. We'll see. I think this is a very short book. I can get through this probably by today, and I'm since I'm 50% through. I think we could probably finish both of these and get moving on to the other one sometime this weekend. A different book that I don't know what I'm reading. Now that that's all done and I've talked about all that, let's start reading. I think I want to finish this one first. I want to try to finish this one first. So let's go do that.
Okay, it is actually the next day. Listen, I forgot I had a family function last night and I didn't read at all because I got home super late. So today we're going to be doing the reading. But before we do that, I bought an ottoman for my little reading chair here because I hardly fit on it. And when I have to sit on it, I'm tall, okay? I'm 5'7". I'm curled up on this thing. So I wanted an ottoman. Now, mind you, I got this chair off of Wayfair. And it was like $400. For the ottoman itself was like another $300, and I wasn't doing that. So I got a dupe on Amazon, and it's arrived. I've completely forgot about it. It's been sitting out in the rain, so it's over there where you can't see it in a box. We're gonna set that up, and then as soon as that's set up, like my library is like completely done. So we're gonna do like a full room tour because mind you, you guys only ever see this half of the library. There's a whole second half of the room that I'm really proud of, and I finished decorating. So we're just gonna go ahead and I'll just show you all of it because I'm proud of it and I like it. And then after that's all done, we will hopefully finish one of the two of our books. I'm running out of time here. So we'll at least probably finish one together. So let's just go ahead and do it and get to set up and get to reading.
Spinning madly, white as bone. Tiptoe, whisper, no, this ain't home. Wanting more than this old flat line.
Like so perfect. I'm gonna have to put like grippy things on the bottom so it doesn't slide around. But this is much better to read in. Before I would sit like this the whole time and I'm cramped up and I can't move, but now I have a room. I have so much room. I can color on here. I can set my books on here, my feet. Ugh. That's so good. And it's a little bit big and kind of in the way, but what's nice is I can just move it right there and then it's out of my way and then it's fine. But with that, then that means my library's done. So let me walk you through a quick little tour of this entire room and everything that's in it that I love, and that's pretty much it. Obviously, for starters, we have the library. You've seen this many times because I talk about it all the time and I'm here and I show you, and obviously this is what we're here for. We'll go real fast. Back corner shelf, DNF / don't want to read shelf. Middle shelf, TBR shelf, some random stragglers and whatever. These are all the books I've read, obviously. This is my little art cart with all of my like sketchbooks and paints and whatever else, and then my coloring books and stuff like that. And that's this side. And then moving on to this corner of the room, this is obviously my makeup desk. Obviously, I mean, that's pretty much it. This is my guinea pig closet, as I call it. This is where I keep all their goods. These are some paintings that I really love. Mind you, this is like the vibe I'm constantly going for in my life, and I have achieved that.
I made a post on TikTok once asking where I can find like prints of really good paintings, and somebody recommended this artist to me, which mind you, I've seen all over Etsy and Pinterest and everything. I just couldn't find the actual artist to make sure I was actually getting it from them. So somebody hooked me up and I found it, and I got 4 of these paintings, and they're my favorite thing in the world. And that's that. I mean, simple. It's my makeup desk with some really beautiful drawings that I absolutely am in love with so much. And then going past the makeup desk, we have my guinea pig cage. And yes, I have guinea pigs, Guinea Girl and SpongeBob. Guinea Girl's the white one, SpongeBob's the orange one. I call her Spongy. My niece's nephew named them. That's why they're named like that. This is their cage. I won't go into too much detail because it is actually very dirty. And tomorrow I clean it. So, currently eating, and they're so adorable, and they've got a bigger room than I do, and all the space they could ever want or need. And I love them so much. Last but not least, we have my fish tanks. I love my fish tanks so much. They're both 6-gallon fish tanks. If you don't know me, I have had fish for many years. I have many different size tanks. The biggest one I ever had was like a 55-gallon, and then I just got too overwhelmed with that, so then I sized down again, and now we're back. This is my little Beta's tank. His name is Rue. I got him about a year ago around Christmas time. That's why his name is Rue. He's red, and it's short for Rudolph, so what else was I going to name him? He is the love of my life. We're besties. We play tic-tac-toe together and draw together on his cage. If you don't know what that means, that's just kind of how you play with them. There's really no other way to play with the fish, but they'll watch you when you draw, so I do that. And then moving on to this other 6-gallon tank, cherry reservoirs, I think is what they're called. I'd have to correct myself and look that up. In here with one guppy, they are the best of friends. There's just 3 of them in this tiny tank. I'll eventually add more. I just wanted to see what they looked like and kind of how they acted. I've never had them before. So they're in here. This is their planted tank. It's very beautiful. It's the love of my life. I love this because I'm a fish nerd. I love water. I don't like swimming in water. I just love water and water animals and plants and things, and I don't know why. So that's it. There's also this really beautiful painting I got from Etsy. It's a print of a painting. That is my entire room. This is probably, even though I know the library is beautiful, this might be my favorite area in the room. I love fish, you guys. Fish nerd, love fish. I'm like the girl, Nina, that's me. So just know that I related to her a little bit, okay? Because, yeah. It means the room tour is over and that it's time to read. So I'm going to go eat a little bit of a lunch because I'm starving, and then we will finish All Roads Lead Here. I definitely want to finish this one first because I'm like halfway done, more than halfway now. So we're going to finish this one, and I'm loving it so far. And then hopefully maybe by today we can also finish The Night Before. This one is, I'm going to be honest, a little bit boring, but I'm only on like chapter like 10 or 11, so I see the vision. I see what we're going for, and I'm hoping for it. So I think we'll be just fine. Let's go eat some lunch, and then we'll finish the books. Okay, before we get into some reading, I did want to talk about why I took a TikTok break, because obviously I didn't like really announce it. I just kind of put it in my bio that like I will not be posting. So like if anybody went onto my account, which I doubt, they would see that, hopefully. Obviously, for a while now, if you follow me, I have not been posting on Book Talk for a while, at least not very consistently. I do here and there. Sometimes I'll get like spurts to post more often. But I'd say this last month, I was still trying, but then basically the last video I posted, okay, if you go onto my account, the last video I posted was a video talking about how I was like, hey, where can I buy real paintings, real prints of art, real whatever? Because whenever I'm shopping on Amazon, Etsy, going to in-person stores, everything's AI art. And I was like, hey, I want to support a real artist. I want to know I'm supporting a real artist. Are there websites or something that I know I could be getting real art from? Tell me why people were mad. People were mad. I had one girl respond to that video saying like, this girl probably got bullied. I can't even find the video. She probably deleted it because how dare she say real art is dying? And like, I'm right here, bitch. Like, I'm painting. And I'm like, when did I ever say that? When did I ever say that? I did not say real art is dying. I was wondering if there was a freaking website I could trust to know that it was not AI. Because I wanted to support real artists. Heaven forbid. Oh my word. So then I literally had to make another video like, hey, some stupid idiot responded to my video saying that I said real art's dead. That's not what I said. I was just wanting a freaking website so I could order art and pay the price that it deserves that's not fake. Because I ordered a painting off Etsy and they scammed me and it was AI and I paid for it. I didn't want that to happen again. Sue me. Oh my word. And so basically after that video, like I was already kind of hesitant to post very often. I didn't really do it very often. After that video, I was like, I have to be done. That is insane. It's especially bad on Book Talk. Like you can't say, think, do, read. You can't even say you like a book anymore. And the art, and you think that the author is a great person who deserves everything in life good. And you, heaven forbid somebody disagree with you. So I'm taking a break. YouTube seems to be just a lot more peaceful. Like it's smaller interactions, not so many different people see you. Like if you are going to be watching my video, it's because you follow me. It's not just a rando. So basically that's why I'm taking a TikTok break and just going to try to post on YouTube. I just have more fun with the long form content anyway, because it just gives me the opportunity to talk a lot more, if you haven't noticed, and to just get into detail. And I don't have to feel pressure to like be entertaining within the first 5 seconds of a video. Like that's my nightmare. I just want to talk about what I love to do. So I'm taking a break. For how long? I don't know. But YouTube will be here for me. I like it. It's fun. I'll do it until I'm bored. With that said though, this video is quickly coming to an end. Let's at least finish one of these books because this video has already been so long and I apologize, but it's been a while since I posted anything and I wanted to do all of this. So let's finish this book and then be done for the day. Thank you for listening to me talk a lot.
Spinning madly, white as bone.
I finished All Roads Lead here, and the reason I am sitting like this is because my cat is on me. But we finished the book, and I loved it. 5 stars. So cute. It's one romance book. Like, I haven't like kicked my feet or giggled over a romance book in a long time, and I did because of this one. So that automatic 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. And what are you doing? What I like about Mariana Zapata books too is like there's never like smut in it. Like the whole book is not smut. It's usually just like one time at the end of the book. Then you have like your third act breakup, and then they get back together, and then the book is done, which I always enjoy. Like I literally find myself like so over smut in every single book. It's because like people have said, and I also agree, as soon as they sleep together and are like together, I lose interest, because then there's no tension and there's no like flirting anymore. Then they just got what they want, and I don't like that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I finished the book. I loved it. 5 stars. And I'm definitely not going to be reading the other one today in this video, because you know what? I've taken up enough of your time. So, and my cat wants to cuddle, and it's time to be done for the day. One last thing to add, Atticus. Perfect. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will be posting more on here, and maybe you'll see me somewhere else again on the internet.